Hello, hello! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Tabs and I'm the maker and creator behind Safari Stitches. And today is a market vlog. I am coming to you technically from the future because I did not film an intro for this video for whatever reason. I guess I just forgot, but I'm really excited about this market and it's my last one of the year on December 6th. This is it. After this, I'm done. And I will tell you right now that it was a great market. I've never done this one before, but I have done a market at this venue and it was so much fun. The vibes were immaculate. It was just such a great day. And I was able to get footage while we were there, which is even more exciting. Unfortunately, for one of the really long clips, I think I filmed for like half an hour and I realized I never turned the mic on. So, not a whole lot going on there, but I did film another clip of me and got a little bit of the customer interactions for you so that you could see what I'm like, I guess, at a market when I'm dealing directly with customers. And then, of course, stick around because we do go through the whole breakdown of the market at the end. So, with all of that said, let's get into it.
Prioritize. I have already.
I understand.
So much fun today. You'll have to present it because I'm missing Christmas. So
I think.
You probably want to get one that doesn't have winterize because it's already. Yeah, right. But the flower, it's not that one. They do have all flowers. The duck. I think the duck was very good.
Of course. I can get you a little bag. I can hold this one. Are you might need it? Okay, yeah. I'll grab it.
No, I just put the rest in the bag, you know. I can put it in.
So once we pull it up for you, I'll get you a total. Okay, so the total is $27.20 with tax. Let me just grab you a little bag really quick. Card, so you can tap or insert. Alright. Here's your bag. You are good to go. Thank you so much, sweetheart.
That's why I worked it.
One duck.
A newborn safe duck.
Yep.
Jared and then you can get this for Elizabeth. She's large enough that they think she can have her toys and eyes.
Yeah. Alright, so it'll be $44 even with tax. Would you like a text or email receipt? Alright, let me grab you.
We can just throw it in.
Are you sure? Okay, perfect. All right.
We came prepared.
Oh yeah, I always have to. I bring like 2 bags.
I love the Pokemon, the Snorlax.
Thank you.
And the, oh, I gotta know your name.
Togepi.
Togepi. Yep. Like all the memories are rushing back.
I know, right?
Togepi.
Hi, how are you guys?
These are just.
Oh, thank you so much.
These are the most creative things I've seen today.
Thank you so much.
Oh, just beautiful. There it is.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how I managed to drop it and have it disappear that far. Oh, wonderful.
You're set. All right. Love that. All right, so big with cat and then 2 of the minis.
Yes.
All right. You want to just stick it in that bag or do you want another one? All right, let me get you rung up. All right, so your total is...
Trying to secure some Christmas presents, and your stuff is good.
Thank you so much.
It's very well done.
It'll be $48.90 with tax.
All right.
And whenever you're ready. All right, do you want a text or email receipt? No? All right.
All right.
You're good to go. Thank you. Have a great day. I do have a blue ballerina as well.
Can I see the blue ballerina? I grew up a purple girl, and I didn't want her to be a purple girl. Wait, were you purple or
pink girl. I was. Oh my gosh.
You want the blue one?
I'm trying to see if Ashley.
I will say this one does have the plastic safety eyes, which I don't recommend for under 3.
Okay, we'll get the purple.
Okay, yeah. Sorry about that. I'm glad you said that because I didn't clock that.
Okay. Oh, and she doesn't. Okay, they do.
Yeah, there's.
She's the only one over here.
I think that's
meant to be.
I might have one more that has embroidered eyes. I have a bunny.
And she's not a yellow. Wait. Oh my gosh. Wait, let me send it to my husband because, like, I don't know. Here, wait, we hold this.
You don't want your picture too?
Oh my gosh, they're so cute together.
I know. Too bad, right?
They're so cute.
You should do like
I think I don't know if I'm leaning towards.
It's hard to pick. I hate choosing.
But you did say she had 13. She's got that one. You know, it was all mine. We changed her name.
Oh,
So, yeah, I get rid of it.
I love it. That is like something I would do for sure.
Do you have little, like, chips?
It's like a kitchen towel holder. Yeah.
That's good. Do you have, like, can I sit this one out here or no?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's fine.
I think I'm gonna go with this one, but I'm gonna see what he says. But do you make like little baby hats?
I can. I don't have any today, but I can.
Okay.
It's getting colder and colder.
Oh yeah. He's a ballerina too.
Ballerina, yeah. All right. Where's my phone? All right. I do card, tap, Venmo.
Yes.
Card. All right. So it will be. Is that the purple one? All right, it'll be $35.20 with tax. Whenever you're ready.
These are so cool. Thank you.
Would you like a text or email receipt?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. How are you today? I'm good.
He's like Canadian, but he's not boss. And they would create many people.
Hey, how are you?
Then they have things from a lot of readers. Like there was, I know we were yeah, my sister has one, and it's 70 pounds. So it's just like, I don't know. But it's like, he's really small, but they're all different. And that tiny like the readers are like making kind of fast, like
These are so freaking sweet.
Oh, thank you.
I'm struggling to figure out like which one.
I
I have
know.
a 2-year-old and I'm like, she would love.
It's a lot to look at. Does she have a favorite animal? Favorite color?
All of them.
Literally all of it. Yeah.
All of the animals. She loves worms.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
Every
She's an animal girl. I love
We
it.
can't decide, she loves all the animals. She like doesn't like for her friends to get in trouble. She sticks up for them.
Oh,
Like, she
bless
tells
her
her teacher, like,
heart. So it sounds like you're doing a good job.
Be like a zoologist or a criminal defense attorney. I don't know.
Literally could be anything.
This
I love that.
I'm obsessed with it. Do you have I'm saying I might need to do your site or something. Do you have like a cat that's like not that smaller?
I don't have one currently, but I can definitely make one. I will say, if you're wanting it for a Christmas gift, it might be a little bit of a stretch.
We could do like her birthday's in June. She's gonna have plenty for Christmas, but like this is
yeah. My email is. I mean, it goes directly to my Instagram, but all my information's on the back, so you can just email me. Yeah. You're welcome. Beautiful. Thank you. You too. Hello. Did your mom like the dog? Good.
She's like, and I'm teaching to put him like near the dining room.
I love
when I come to the house.
I love it.
I was like, I bet she'll put in her room near the dining room.
I love that so much.
I was like, they're right here.
Yep. Are you having a good day? Yeah. Good.
I love my mom and another friend in charge. So like, I'm gonna go check on them before I keep on.
Yeah, you might as well.
So we'll see. They think when I said we all got it, they're like, yeah,
Sure. Well, the last event that I did, I left her in charge, and she undercharged somebody for something. So, you know.
She looked mini base and mom said, I'll pay you back for it. So just keep it like. But she didn't pay you back for it, but that's
Yeah, that's so funny.
she's a teacher, so like she's tough.
Yeah.
That's why my friend in charge of square her in charge of packing bags.
Yep. Okay. Probably a good idea then. I am making a fox right now for a custom order, so I'm trying to take advantage of the time I have.
I wish I could work on my stuff in my booth like that.
I know. It would be nice. He's got a lot of attention today. No takers yet.
Thank you. I'm gonna go check on them, so I've been gone far longer than I but I might stop by again.
Of course. Have a good one. Hello. How are you guys today? Good. Hi, how are you? I'm good.
I know your sweater was like.
Yes. Yep, I do. Look at the duck. I'm making a fox right now. It's going to be $17.60 with tax. You can do card, tab, down.
And then I use the alligator face coffee to stain.
And would you like a text or email receipt?
Text. Oh, I try to do it for fun.
All right, you are all set.
A lot of people like
Thank you so much.
Alright.
Alrighty, I can grab you a small bag too.
That'd be great.
Julia?
Got it, yeah.
All right, you're good to go. Thank you. Hi, how are you? Good. Oh, the axolotls. Wow.
It's pretty though. The coloring.
How are y'all today? Good.
That's really cute. I love that.
How are y'all today?
I'm good. Always love your
Thanks.
I love that.
I get these, and I was actually get a little possum too.
Sure, go for it.
You get a possum, right? I didn't want to make sure that.
Okay, your total is $43.70 with tax. And you can
How are you? If you have any questions,
All right. And would you like a text or email receipt?
text please.
All right.
Right outside the Chelsea. Do you live around here?
Yeah. If you wouldn't mind putting your phone number out for me.
There is so much of it out there.
All right. And you are good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Hi, how are you?
These are amazing.
Oh, thank you.
That was my crochet project. Turned out.
I'd like to purchase these.
Alrighty. Would you like a little bag for him? Okay. All right. So you got a axolotl.
16 and 16.
All Right, and there is a little bit of tack.
That'll be add to that.
Okay, so your total is gonna be $35.20 with tax. All right, you can tab or insert. All right, you're good to go. Thank you guys so much. Are you sure you don't want a little bag? Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Hello, how are you?
Good. How much is this though?
They're 15.
Are we doing Venmo?
I can do Venmo, I can do card, I take tap.
Do we have a place to scan for?
I do have a scan, yeah. And it'll be $16.50 with tax. And do you want a little bag for it?
I can fit him in this bag.
Okay. It's up to you. I don't mind. Vera?
That's me.
All right, you are good to go.
Capybara! So cute! Wow! You love cats!
All right, my friends. Ignore. I don't know what I did to my forehead, but I have a nice little red dot. I don't know if I like scratched it. Not really sure what's going on. Whoa, computer, don't slide. All right. It is a couple days after my last and final market of the year, which is kind of a bittersweet moment because I have been fairly stressed over the last couple of weeks trying to get ready for this market because I felt very underprepared, particularly after I found out that there were only two other crochet artists, and one of them was acrylic, which I don't even consider the same as me at all. And the other one had some very niche products that they offered that were not similar to what I offer. So really, I felt like I was one of a kind at this market, which was really, really neat with over 100 vendors. But to give you a little bit of background, this is a venue that I've done before. I've never done their Christmas market. And it's always a very, very pleasant experience dealing with this venue and with these organizers. They have a very, very well-oiled machine. They run a very tight ship. It's a very get in, unload, take your car away, get everything out of your car and then go move your car and come back. They provide the tents, which is also chef's kiss, because if you do market events, you know how much space, how much real estate a tent can take up in your car when you're trying to bring a lot of inventory and other things with you. So that was really nice. I will say it was very interesting figuring out how to set up, because the tents that are set up, they are double tents, so basically 20 foot wide by 10 foot wide, and they obviously have the poles in the center to kind of mark each space. And everybody's space is very clearly marked. My tent was labeled Safari Stitches. I knew where I was supposed to be. It was very easy. We did switch up the layout once again on the fly, which I'm glad we got there pretty early to figure that out, because I feel like these last few markets I've really been switching things. Well, I guess really the whole of all of my fall and winter markets, every single event has had a different layout, and half of that is because I had double booth space. So for the first two, and obviously I had to switch how I had things laid out for the double booth space. So I don't know. And then I feel like the last market I had, we were angled very interestingly compared to the vendor next to us on one side. So I had to kind of finagle a way to get everything to display properly so that I was bringing customers around and not hiding the other vendor. I don't know. Anyways, so we switched things up again. I will hopefully I would have already started it, but the footage of my booth setup is right here for you guys to see. It's still the same concept of how everything was displayed. We decided to put the grid walls on one side with no table in front, because when we had the table in front, I was really worried with people reaching over the table that, one, the items that would be laid out on the table would get jostled around and I would be constantly fixing things. But not to mention the ones that were on the very top row, you can't really reach from the other side of the table. And because we were literally smack up against the vendor next to us, I wasn't going to be able to walk around the back to pull things off of the grid wall. So strategically, I decided to move the table to the opposite side and have 3 grid walls hanging fully stocked with things hanging. And we did the Book Buddy shelf at the front, like I always do. Then we had the grid walls. 2 had the snugglers, 1 had beanies, and then I had my first table and then the second table in like an L shape. And then along the other side were my 2 collapsible bookshelves. And that is basically how we had everything set up. And it worked really well, actually. I am really glad that I opted to remove the table from in front of the grid walls. I think that was a really, really, really good call. I liked the layout that we went with this time around. There are a few things that I think I would change if we were to do that type of layout again. I don't know that we will. Overall, I feel like the foot traffic was great. It was a little cold, I will say. The foot traffic from, I guess, let's see. The market itself started at 12 and it went until 5. So it's a 5-hour event. And right off the bat, I feel like it was pretty consistent. We didn't really get a whole lot of sales up front because there was a lot of people browsing, and kind of how I predicted, they were basically walking down the main road, which is where we were set up, and then they were going into the brewery to get beer or drinks or whatever, and then they were coming back. And then the unfortunate thing, and I think I do genuinely think this did affect sales, is at 3 o'clock, the SEC championship game started. And they did have like a big screen, like a projector screen inside where they were playing the game. And it was packed inside. I mean, there was barely any walking room. So I do think that once 3 o'clock, and based on my sales, I do think that after 3 o'clock, things slowed down. There were still people shopping, but sales did slow down quite a bit. Now, don't get me wrong, it was still a great market. I will be going back next year, just to, like, spoiler alert. But I will say that I do think the football game affected the turnout towards, like, in the last 2 hours. However, the market was still very good. Like I said, I will be going back again next year. I'm going to go ahead and straight off the bat give you guys the totals and the statistics about this market, and then we're going to go line by line what sold and how much it sold for, and that way you can kind of get an idea of what was selling in the first half versus like maybe things that were moving a little bit slower for me. There were some surprises this time around. So first off, our gross sales before sales tax were $1,767. We collected $155.80 in taxes, so our total sales, including taxes, were $1,922.80. This market was 5 hours long. It was $384 per hour for this market, which is amazing. I'm very, very happy with that number. I had 71 orders that day. So 71 transactions, and we sold 94 items. So we are still in the range that I was in the last couple of markets. However, we sold a lot of small items. Oh, I never told you how much this one cost. This was $150 for this market. The vendor fee was $150. With that said, let's get into my sales. So our first sale was at 12:10. I'm actually going to put my glasses on because I'm going to get a headache really quickly if I try to read this. First sale was at 12:10 p.m. And it was for a Gengar, a Togepi, and a Psyduck Minimon for a total of $52.80. The next transaction was for a pink and purple tie-dye dragon snuggler. It's one of the Diddy Dex dragons for $35.20. Next was the brown bear animal rattle, and that was $15. Next was one of my minis. So I made, this is by, these are the mini Critterlings. I'll pop up the name of the creator here. I knew it off the top of my head and it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of exactly what it is. So I'll pop it up. And of course, all of these patterns will be listed below, so you can go find them if you would like to. It'll be in the form of a blog post. I will label it in the description below, but it'll be on my website as a blog post. And it's just kind of a catch-all of all of the patterns that I like and that I use and that are my best sellers, things like that. So but the Critterlings did very well at this market. I believe the first one to sell was a mini capybara, and that sold for $10.70. Next was a custom order that the person just wanted to go ahead and pay for while we were at the market. So I didn't actually have a plushie that I sold at this, like for this transaction, but she went ahead and paid. But it's for a custom penguin, and I'm just going to use the Cozy Stitch Chubby Birds pattern for that, for the penguin, and that was sold for $16.50. Next, I sold my Kinder Knots deer plushie, which was so exciting, for $41.80. The next transaction was for two small loaf cats, one in the orange and one in the black, for $33 even. Next was the Llama Llama Book Buddy and a Gengar Minimon for $50.60, and that was without the book. Next was the mini Demigorgon that I made and the Pooh Bear Animal Rattle for a total of $45. I really, 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 really wish I had made more Demigorgons. I really, really do, but I didn't have enough time. I only made the one, and I had one person came up and wanted it, but she was like, oh, I don't know, because she had already bought two things, I think, and she was like, I really don't need to buy myself anything, so she left, and then literally 15 or 20 minutes later, someone came in and snatched it and bought it immediately, and that original girl came back, and she was like, oh my gosh, it's gone, I should have just bought it, because she was like, I've been walking around thinking about that Demogorgon forever. So she took my card, and she said she was going to message me to have me make one, so we will see if that happens, but I always feel so bad when that happens to people, they leave because they're like, oh, I'm going to think about it. But I do feel like at larger markets like this, as a shopper, hesitating on something, one, yes, hesitating might mean that you don't actually want it. It's more of an impulse buy. But if you do want it and you hesitate to grab it, it's more than likely going to be gone, especially with Stranger Things literally just releasing their newest season, 2 weeks ago now. I feel like that was a really popular item, and I definitely should have made more of those. So that was kind of a bummer that I didn't have more. But anyways, the next one was a chubby duck. It was a mallard for $15. Again, the Cozy Stitch pattern. Next, I sold two car coasters. So she bought a lemon slice car coaster and a pink flower car coaster for $22. Next was another one of the Critterlings minis. This was an axolotl for $10.70. The next transaction was for a small blue axolotl for $17.60. Next was a crochet chicken. Y'all know how I feel about these Mabel chickens. And a small possum for a total of $30. Next was another mini, and it was the other mini axolotl. I think I had one pink and one blue, and both of them sold. Next was a light orange speckled hatching chick for $19.80. and then another mini. And I think this one was the cow. I didn't have them broken down in my shop because there were, I want to say, like 17 different minis that I had, and I did not want to photograph and count all of them, so I just put all of them in one basket and labeled them all $10. So that's why I don't necessarily know the specifics. But next was for 2 mini love cats. One was orange and the other was the tan multi-colored one for $33 total. Then we sold another small possum for $16.50. And then we sold a Snorlax mini mon for $16. And then another mini for $10.70. And I think this was a chicken mini. A chicken mini. If you eat Chick-fil-A. If you know, you know. Chicken mini. All right, let's see. The next transaction was another mini, and I believe this was also a chicken for $10.70. The next one was my last and final Bulbasaur Minimon for $17.60. Then I sold 2 more car coasters, and they were both purple flower car coasters for $22. The next transaction was a really, really, really exciting transaction. This was the largest transaction of the day, and I sold my Anchor Octopus, which was amazing, a Hungry Caterpillar, including the book, and a Mallard Duck Animal Rattle, and the total was $115.50. Next was 2 more car coasters. I was so pleased that the car coasters were doing well because I go markets where people don't even look at them, and then other markets where they kind of fly off the shelf. I think this is 6 total that have sold, and this was both of the lime slices that I had for $22. The next one was my big llama snuggler for $49.50. I am probably not going to restock that llama snuggler because I've had it for quite some time now. I don't know if it was just the color because it was cream, and obviously if you're giving a snuggler to a child, they're going to get it dirty. So I don't think I will make that llama anymore, but the one that I use for llama, I probably will make different variations of that llama specifically and start offering those in my shop instead. The next transaction was for a Kindle sleeve and a giraffe animal rattle, and that was for a total of $44. And I will say the giraffe rattle is not included in the pattern pack. It's the pattern pack by Mama Makes Yarn, and I do stick a little rattle in the head when I stuff it. The giraffe was kind of a happy accident because I was trying to make a Winnie the Pooh and I forgot to color change for the shirt, and I was just like going for it, and I just had this yellow rattle, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this now, because, and then I was looking at it, I was like, well, that's the color of a giraffe, so I just added like a little orange snout and 2 bobble stitches for the ossicones, and then I freehanded some ears, and I just embroidered some very minimalist spots. I was really, really happy with how it came out, so I'll definitely make more of those. But that is, like, you can find the base body in that pattern. I just kind of modified it to fit the giraffe. So the next transaction, we're at 2:00 in the afternoon, so we're 2 hours in at this point. I sold another mini chicken for $10.70. The next transaction was for the last Mallard Duck Animal Rattle and a small blue axolotl for $34.10. The next transaction was for 2 small loaf cats, an orange and a speckle. Next was a hatching chick, a light orange speckled hatching chick for $19.80. Then I sold a whale keychain, and she was actually going to use it as an ornament for an ornament exchange, which I thought was kind of cute. Next, I sold a llama llama without the book for $33. The next transaction was for a capybara and another mini. I think this was also a chicken. I had a handful of mini chickens, and that total was $27.20. Next was for a large yellow Della duck snuggler for $44. This one's a funny story, actually. So you guys all know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, that one of my best sellers online is custom loaf cats. And they're just like the regular size by Annie Caraway. And I offer them fully customized. And I made one for a customer, and he came back and he really didn't like the colors that I had chosen because the photos that I was provided didn't show the color accurately. Even though he sent me like 15 photos, I was pretty confident in my choices. And then he sent me one extra one after I sent him pictures, and he was like, actually, the base is orange. And sure enough, the picture that he sent, it was orange. So I had to remake it, and I was like, well, now I have this custom loaf cat that I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw it in my market inventory. Maybe it'll speak to somebody. Maybe it will luckily look like someone's cat, and it'll be fine. Well, sure enough, this next transaction, I sold that loaf cat, and I did sell it for a discount. I sell my loaf cats for $35 to $40, depending on how many colors. And I did sell it for $25 just because I didn't want to have it just sitting here and not go somewhere else. So I sold it for $25, and I'm happy with that. And then I also sold two more minis. I need to open my mini thing up and see which ones I sold because I'm kind of getting a little bit lost now. I really do wish I had taken the time to like break it out so I could see which ones actually sold and which ones didn't. But the total for that transaction was $48.90. Next was the light gray ballerina Brie Mouse wearing she was wearing a purple tutu, and that sold for $35.20. Next was a chubby white duck that sold for $17.60, and this was one of the free patterns that I did for the free pattern roundup that I did a couple of months ago, I think now. So that sold, which was really fun. Next were two more car coasters. So I sold a total of 8 car coasters, I think, because I think that's it. I don't think I sold any more car coasters. But I sold the 2 green Smile car coasters, and then I sold another mini for a total of $32.70. The next transaction was for another mini, a small speckled loaf cat, and a small possum for a total of $43.70. Next was a black axolotl and a Snorlax Minimon. The axolotl and the Minimon sold for $32 total. Next was the capybara for $16.50, and then a yellow baby bee for $11. Next was a fox animal rattle and a double layer knit beanie for $36.30. Next was another mini and another fox animal rattle for $27.20. Next was a teal tie-dye dragon snuggler, the Diddy Dex, for $35.20. Another chubby duck in the mallard colorway for $16.50. And then another, oh my gosh, so this transaction literally almost ripped my heart out. I felt so bad for both the little girl and her grandparents because she was there with her grandparents. And she saw the camo tie-dye Diddy Dex Dragon Snuggler and literally fell in love with it. And I sell those for $32. So they are one of my like mid to upper range priced items that I have out at my table. And the grandparents really just didn't want to spend the money. And the grandmother kept looking at me and was like, I'm so sorry. I can't do the money right now. And the little girl, like, she walked off. The grandmother walked off. The grandfather was standing in the middle of the aisle. And he kept on saying, like, no, like, just go ahead and put it back. Like, let's think about it. Let's just walk around and all of this stuff. And then the little girl, like, the grandfather answered a phone call, and the little girl was probably like 10 to 13 range, 10 to 12. I'm really terrible at figuring out what age people are, so take that with a grain of salt. But she literally just stood there at the edge of my tent. She was just standing there watching her grandfather on the phone, holding this Diddy Duck snuggler. And then her grandmother came back and she was like, well, and she looked at me, she was like, well, are you local? And I was like, yes, I am. Like, I'm located here. And she's like, okay, well, why don't we just put it back and I'll take her card. And I did give her a card, and I'll reach out to her, and maybe like Santa can bring it for you for Christmas or something. I can't remember exactly what she said, but she was trying so hard to convince this little girl to leave this dragon snuggler behind because of the price. She just really didn't want to pay for it. And I kept telling her, I was like, I understand. Like, you do not have to apologize to me. I get it. But the little girl was like, well, if we do that, like, how, because it's the tie-dye yarn. So it's variegated and dyed. It's uniquely dyed per skein or whatever. And she was like, well, how is she going to like match the spots? And I really just like how he has like a patch of green on his face and he's just so cute. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get the same thing if I don't get this one. And she started to tear up, and I could tell she was just trying so hard not to cry. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's like, because I mean, as much as I would love to give every child a discount to have what they want, I do value my time and resources, so I didn't do that. But I looked at my fiance and I was like, should I just like offer to hold it? Because I think what they were trying to do is just get her away from the table, and then she would eventually forget about it. And so I was like, well, do I just offer to hold it behind the table just so that she'll just walk off with them? Or do I just stay out of it? And I almost started to say, well, I will hold it, because she kept on repeating herself, like, well, I'll like send her an email and I'll get you the same one or whatever. We'll get it for Christmas. And the little girl was just so distraught. And, so I ended up not saying anything. I was like, you know what, I'm going to let them handle it, because it's not my kid, not my family. I don't want to get involved in that. And I didn't want to say the wrong thing and mess up whatever they were trying to do. So I stayed out of it. And eventually the grandmother was just like, well, she wore us down. She's like, I feel awful. Like, I can't take the tears. So they ended up buying this dragon snuggler, and as soon as they paid for the dragon, she lost it. Like, she could not compose herself anymore, the little girl. She started crying, and she was like giving her grandfather the biggest hugs. Oh my gosh, it was like the most touching moment. It was so sweet. So she got her dragon snuggler, and that transaction was $35.20. But that literally almost ripped my heart out. I can't even lie. That was really hard to watch. I was trying to like crochet and just like la 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 la, you know, like mind my own business. But it was so hard. The next item that I sold was a cup cozy for $5.50. The funniest thing, so I cannot tell you guys. So I make these beer can cozies. So they have like the bottom, and then they go up and they'll cover like an entire beer can, like a short beer can. There were so many people. There was at least 3 people that came into my booth thinking they were baby hats, even though I had them labeled as cozies. So I don't know, like, I guess I need to package them differently. I don't know, because I have my coffee cup sleeves, because they're like shorter with no bottom. I do have those packaged on like a cardboard to-go cup. So maybe I need to draw up something for like a beer can, and that way I can have like a beer can cozy display. Because they were like, one guy came up and he was like grabbing them, and he was like holding them up to his baby's head, and he was like, what are these for, like preemie babies? And I was like, oh no, those are drink cozies. And he was like, oh, that would explain it. I was like, oh my gosh. I was cracking up. But I sold one of those for $5.50. Next was another Diddy Dex Dragon Snuggler. This one was in the Kaleidoscope colorway for $35.20. And then I sold my last and final Flower Buddy. I've had those for so long. I do love the pattern. I believe it's Raven Jade Co. I absolutely adore this pattern, and I think they're so cute, but I have had this thing for ages. It's been so long, and I'm so happy that it found a new home, and that one was $33. Next was another capybara for $16.50. Oh, I sold more car coasters. So I sold 2 cow print car coasters for $22. Next was another crochet chicken. I just can't. $16.50. And then another chubby duck in the mallard colorway for $16.50. I sold the cow plushie, the brown spotted cow plushie. This is the new cow pattern pack from, is it Loops to Lovies? I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head right now because I'm pretty fried. That sold for $38.50. I was really excited about that. Next was another Diddy Dex Dragon Snuggler. This is the blue tie-dye one and a capybara, and that sold for a total of $51.70. Next was another small possum, $16.50. And then I sold the last ballerina brie mouse for $35.20. Then I sold another Diddy Dex Dragon Snuggler and this was the rainbow tie-dye one, for $35.20. And then we sold another small loaf cat in the black colorway for $16.50. And then I sold my last and final llama llama without the book for $33. Those llama llamas, you guys, I'm telling you, that book was not a thing when I was a kid. Ours was Hungry Caterpillar, Boom Chicka Boom Boom, Goodnight Moon. I grew up with Winnie the Pooh as a kid, but Llama Llama Red Pajama was not a thing for me. And when somebody was like, oh, you need to, I think it might have been Shannon, Case and Crochet. She was like, oh, you need to make a llama. Those llama llamas, you guys, I sold out. That was the last one I had at this market. And it's now almost 4:30, so we have half an hour left in the market at this point. Next was a Hungry Caterpillar without the book for $27.50. Next was another crochet chicken. Actually, the next 2 transactions were crochet chickens. One was gray, sold for $16.50. Oh, they were both gray. They both sold for $16.50. So I think we're at like 5 crochet chickens now, which is just mind-blowing. Next, I sold the Piglet Snuggler. This one was really annoying to me because in the first hour, this woman came up and she pulled the piglet off the shelf and she was like, would you mind just holding on to this? I need to go get my husband and I'm going to go. There was another market going on right next door. So she's like, I'm just going to go walk through that really quick and then go find my husband and I'll come back and pay for this. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't really mind it necessarily. And most of the time people come back. That woman did not. And I waited until 4:00. And then I was just like, I'm not holding this anymore because she asked me to hold it before 1:00. And I was like, I'm not holding this anymore. I want it to sell. I don't want it to be stuck because she never came back to buy it. So I put it back out and within 20 minutes, somebody picked it up and bought it for $33. So I'm really glad I put it back out. And that is why I don't typically, hold things for people without payment. I did it at, was it the last market, the 9-hour market, because the people that were asking to hold it were either kids or parents of the kids that were performing on the stage, and they didn't have time to sit there and try to pay. They had to go. So in those cases, I do, but for the most part, I don't hold things for people, and this is why. But I'm glad it's sold anyways. Next was another mini for $10.70. Then I sold another cup cozy for $5.50. a small loaf cat in a speckled color for $16.50. And as we were packing up, somebody walked by and was like, oh my gosh, wait, you had these Della ducks out here, or these little ducks. Do you still have those? And I was like, yeah. And I had already put the snugglers in a bag. So I was like, feel free to like dig through the bags, like whatever, like take your time, don't rush. And she picked out the blue baby Della duck snuggler, and she posted on Instagram, and she was like, this is my new support duck called Dilbert, or Bilbert. Bilbert. I was like, that's adorable. Bilbert is so cute. But that was the last and final transaction of the day. So, like I said, overall, I was really, really happy with how that market went. The best seller by monetary value, the top three were the Diddy Dex Dragon Snugglers for $211, the Book Buddies for $165, and I have all the Book Buddies kind of combined into one. So the llama, I think I sold 3 llamas and 2 hungry caterpillars. So 5 total, for a total of $165. And then the one underneath that, the third best seller was the small loaf cat, $148.50. The minis did very, very well. Those came in fourth at $148.40. And then the last and final top 5 is the mini mons for $120 total. Yeah, I mean, overall, I am extremely, extremely happy with how this market went. I also got, let's see, what else have I gotten since then? I've had somebody email me asking for 3 custom dachshund plushies, and then another person reach out about 3 custom baby bonnets. So that's 2. I made the one sale of the custom penguin while I was at the market, and then I've had those 2 people reach out to me since then. And then I had several. I got a lot of new followers over the weekend, which was really exciting. And they're all pretty much non-crochet accounts. So I'm pretty certain those are from the market on Saturday, which was really nice. Because I don't generally get new followers from my markets because I don't really advertise it. And I really should. I'm really bad about like marketing my social media and be like, hey, if you want to find me later, give me a follow. I've even thought about doing like, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get 5% off of your purchase price or something along those lines, which I thought was that might be a good way to help grow my Instagram account. I don't know that that's really the route that I want to go, because obviously I'm like paying for followers at that point, and I'd rather people want to follow me just because they want to see my content. So I didn't really go through with that, but I sold out of the llama book buddies. I sold out of possums. I sold out of the brie mice, the brie ballerina, the mini mons. I only have 2 Togepi's left. Togepi is such an underrated Pokemon. I don't know why Togepi doesn't get any love, but I have had the same 5 Togepis since I started making the mini mons for my markets, and they've only just started selling, and I still have 2 left. So it's always a struggle. It makes me feel so sad for Togepi, but what else sold really, really well? Nobody even picked up the corduroy teddy bear snuggler. That one was a bit shocking. I was surprised that I didn't sell either of my corduroy bears, because that one seemed to be very popular at previous markets. This time around, not so much. The book buddies in general didn't. I mean, obviously I sold out of the llamas, and I did sell out of the caterpillars because I only had 2. So this is like said with a grain of salt, but they didn't appear to be getting as much attention as they were getting at previous markets, which kind of surprised me. The other thing that surprised me, again, the crochet chickens. I cannot get over the crochet chickens, and I'm Delulu enough to sit here and say, well, they've been selling this fall, so we might as well just restock and build it back up again, and then I'll end up with 20 chickens and I'll sit on them for 7 million months. So, oh my gosh, look. Hold on. Okay. Oh, it's already zoomed all the way in. Can you see her tongue? Her little tongue is sticking out. She's dreaming. Her nose is twitching. What a cutie patootie. Anyways, oh, here we go. It's getting intense. Whatever she's doing. Get it, Rosie. She is an avid dreamer. Oh my gosh, you are so close to my face. Wow. She is an avid dreamer. Every time she goes to sleep, she's having some kind of wild, crazy dream. I don't know. I would love to know what she dreams about. But yeah, so I think those are the crochet chickens always have blown my mind in the fall. I don't know. I don't know. And I know I know Christine at What's Up Cupcake does insanely well with the crochet chickens still. I just for whatever reason, I can't get them to sell. It's just crazy to me because I think they're cute, but obviously now I have a sour taste in my mouth over them because they don't sell for me. But I'm trying to think of what else did really well. I did have my pumpkins out at this market, and I did buy 2, get 1 free again. I had no takers on that, which I'm not really surprised, but I needed something else to fill my space up. So I did have those out as well. Capybaras. I sold out of capybaras. I don't have any capybaras left. I think I only have 1 of the small loaf cats. I will say I increased the price of my loaf cats to $15. I was selling them for $12 and I was selling out very quickly. So I did up the price of those to slow down the sales and make it a little bit more worth, get a little bit more bang for my buck, basically. That's not really the right saying, I don't think. Yes, I don't know. It kind of works. You get what I'm trying to say anyways. So that's really it. That's it. That's the last market of the year. And it was great. And I love the vibe. And I even got you guys some footage. And I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. They had breaks in the music, so I was able to get that footage, and it was just all around good vibes. I saw some of my really lovely, wonderful vendor friends, like MK Pottery. She has fantastic ceramics. I'll link her Etsy below because they're absolutely beautiful. And she does Etsy drops. I don't know that she has anything available right now, but I will link her below. I love, 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 love her stuff so much. We have a sponge rest in our kitchen by her, and I'm commissioning her to make something for my fiance too. So, but you guys know I love me some handmade ceramics. I do love some handmade ceramics. There was also this gorgeous stained glass artist there, and I don't have it yet. I'll show you guys after Christmas because I'm apparently getting it for Christmas now. But a beautiful stained glass monstera leaf. Y'all know I love my plants, even though I can't necessarily keep them alive. But I've had my monstera for going on 12 years now. I love that thing so much. So I'm really excited to get that, and I'll show you guys after Christmas when I actually receive it. But yeah, I honestly could not be happier about the way that this year went with markets, specifically the fall and winter markets. They were fantastic. I'm blown out of the water. If you are watching this and you have come out to support me, if you are one of my customers, I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for such a great year. And I have some really, really exciting news that I'm going to hold off on telling you until next video, because I have something so exciting that I have been working on for like a year, a literal year, and I'm finally going to get to film the content and show you guys what I've been working on. And I mean, when I say I've been working on it for a year, I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do it for over a year. And I finally figured it out literally on Saturday, and we hit the ground running. It's going. So stay tuned for that, because I think that's probably going to be the next video. So I'm really excited about it. With that said, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button below if you would love to see any of my future videos. We are so close. I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. If you have not subscribed yet, please, please, please consider it. I think I literally only need 16 people. That's it. We are so close. We are so close. And I'm going to do a cute little giveaway when we hit 2,000, just to say thank you guys so much. But also, in the same vein, make sure you hit the like button on this video, because that helps my video reach other people that may also want to see this content and may also enjoy it. And then we can add new friends to this absolutely wonderful and amazing community that I feel like I've built on here. And per usual, as always, make sure you drop in the comments what you've been working on while you were watching the video. Maybe you had your last market recently. I would love to know how that went as well, so we can all celebrate. And it is now time to wind down. Well, I say wind down. I have so many custom orders to get caught up on, because I've been stuck market prepping and getting ready for these last few markets. So I have so much to get done, and I feel like 2026, you guys, 2026 is going to be the year. It's going to be a good year. I feel it. I feel it for everybody. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope you were able to get some really good information out of it. Maybe give you some inspiration for an upcoming last minute market prep. I don't know. But I hope everybody has a lovely rest of your day, a lovely rest of your week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.